Hello everyone. So what we're going to do today is we're going to work on taking the Okinawa-te defensive postures and making them offensive. And we're going to start off with the formal standing horse. And I've taught this before to where you're in a formal standing horse where you could strike with those hands coming to the face. You could strike and strike. You could do a double strike to the face. You could turn your hands, do a double strike to the chest. You could come up underneath, striking him to the belly. You could come over the underneath. You could strike him to the face. You could move left, right, right, left, uppercut, and so forth out of a formal standing horse, right? You could even come across with a crescent defense to where you're striking him on the side of the face and then come back striking him again. You could use it as a snapping fashion. You could use it as a whipping fashion. You could use it as a whip, and then come in with a thrusting strike, right? So many different ways. If we're in an informal standing horse and our hands are in front, we could use this in many different ways. We could strike to the side of the neck. We could come in and strike to the throat. We could do a palm to the face. We could do a double palm to the stomach. We could move the shoulder, come in with an elbow. We could move the hand out of the way, grabbing it and striking to the side of the neck, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Anyways, when we combine the formal with the right hand, with the informal with the left hand, we bring that up. That's how we get the sword and hammer. Making that circle is very important in coming across the middle or coming across to the top, because this is where your basic defenses and offensive techniques are going to come from. So it's really important that you do that. Why do we bring our leg up? Our leg is to be brought up to be able to step forward, to be able to step backward. Why we're in the formal is to protect from side to side and formal, but you don't want to fight from here because the man can step through your triangle and you're going to go over. And we'll get into that later. Another thought process for that. But anyways, talking about the hammer hand, right? Now if we have a hammer hand, we could strike down, we could strike up. We could come underneath and come over the top, and we can strike from side to side. And if we're using a mini Yawara, a lot of those are going to come into play, right? If we have a left angle, we're going to come over with the left angle. The right angle is going to strike to the face, an X across the face, a crescent coming across the stomach and coming up. So those are just some basics. Those are just some basics I'm covering right now. Now we also know that if we come down with the diagonal, if I'm coming down with this type of a strike, I come over the top and I could punch. So I could come 1, 2, 3, right? So that's just an angle. We could block and hit and so forth. So now if I'm using a stick, a mini Yawara, we could strike to the top of the hand if the man's coming in. If we're using it out of the sword and hammer, well, if I'm standing here and I see the man coming in an aggressive manner, maybe coming to grab me, well, I could use this to hit him on the wrist. I could use it to hit him on the forearm. I could use it to hit him on the bicep, and I could use it to hit him on the side of the face. So when we come to the side, we could also come up underneath striking. We could come over the top striking to the top of the hand. That same thing applies to the different points of striking all the way around with this type of a fashion, which is a hammer hand as we're coming down. So that's a larger one. This is a smaller one here. So those same positions there out of a left angle defense can be done or if I'm striking down with a left angle in an offensive manner, right? Now, as we're coming here, we could come here. So as I hit here, I block and hit him to the wrist. Well, now I could come over the top and strike him to the top of the forehead. I could strike him to the top of the forehead and come underneath the chin. I could compress that by putting my hand on the top of the head and coming in at the same time. Same motion can be done to the side with the sword and hammer. Whereas if I block and I do a double block, or I do a single block and I come in, hitting him on the side of the face and the jaw at the same time, which can mean also striking to the eye. So now we're using that left angle defense. The left angle defense, which can strike here, the right angle defense could come over the top and strike him to the nose or the eye, or come down on the side of the neck. And there's many different applications that could be done with this mini Yawara, but for today, I just wanted to touch on some basic applications, because you can see with the left angle, we can make that circle, right? And with that right angle, we can make an X, right? And with that crescent defense, we could cut across. We could also use the point of this if we want to strike in here. If I want to strike inside to the chest, or I want to come down onto the stomach, or I want to come down on the side of the neck. So this application can also be done. And there's so much more that we could work on, but today I wanted to make it a little bit longer, not short and sweet. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll get back to you soon. Thanks.